Welcome back, everyone, to the Casual Talk Pod. Obviously, y'all know us already if you guys have been watching for a while. I'm Check the Rock, and I'm here with my boy Imanol from Mastermind Hoops.
Hello.
How's it going today, man?
It's been a long day.
So first, on the serious matter from both of us ourselves, and I'm guessing all the fans from the Casual Talk Pod, that we want to send our condolences out to the Russell family. Sunday morning around 11 o'clock Central Time, it was reported that Bill Russell passed away at the age of 88. So condolences out to the Russell family. And last night, this is such a terrible week because last night it was reported that legendary Dodger announcer Vince Scully passed away too. So it's been a rough week for NBA and baseball fans, but our condolences from us go out to those two families. They'll always be remembered, but never forgotten. But let's get into it though. So let's start off with the major NFL news. So finally, Deshaun Watson's case got finished up, and the judge decided to only suspend him 6 games out of next year's season. But according to sources today, Adam Schefter, that the NFL is appealing that 6-day suspension, and they're trying to get it extended, which thank the Lord. Because if Trevor Bauer got a 2-year suspension, this man Deshaun deserves a lot more than 6 games.
It's kind of crazy. I can imagine women that watch the NFL, how they can feel very disrespected by the NFL at times. I mean, we go back to the Ray Rice situation where he punched his, I don't know if it was girlfriend or wife at the time, in an elevator and got 2 games. And then we've seen a long cases of domestic abuse constantly in the NFL where they get 4 to 6 games consistently. And now we get to probably one of the biggest subject matters, which is sexual assault, rape. And to only give Deshaun Watson 6 games is kind of an embarrassment. I'm not going to lie to you.
So, what do you think should be Deshaun's, minimum of a suspension to, a maximum?
All right, we have to compare other suspensions. Yeah. So we got Josh Gordon, who got suspended for basically 2-3 years off of marijuana charges. We have cases like Martavius Bryant that got kicked out of the league for weed charges. Ricky Williams got suspended out of the league for weed charges. Calvin Ridley's another one I have to bring up. He put $1,000 on the Atlanta Falcons to win a game. That's his team, and got suspended the whole season.
So that surprises me, though. He bet on his own team winning.
I don't get how you get suspended for betting on your own team in the first place, much less get suspended the whole season.
And then you see Deshaun Watson only gets 6 games?
The thing is, it's not even the fact that he got 6 games. It's the fact that his contract remains untouched, so he gets paid every cent of it.
So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking minimum a year suspension, which doesn't seem like much.
I think the NFL trying to appeal it is trying to do damage control to a situation that's already messed up as it is. I think if it was 1 or 2 guys that off the court, I mean, he shouldn't be seen the field, period. And any type of sexual assault is incorrect in general. But we know how celebrity lifestyles are, how hectic it is. They can get away with 1 or 2. 24, 25 cases is at this point not allegations.
Nope.
That's not allegations anymore. That's too many to be a coincidence.
So
how do you have a Kobe amount of women? 24.
I don't get it, man. The NFL is weak now. It's gotten so weak.
I mean, the thing is, it's not even that it's gotten weak. It's gotten inconsistent with its punishments.
Because you see NBA players, and then I can't come off a lot, most of them off the top of my head, but you see OJ Mayo banned from the NBA for drug abuse, and you see
Tyreek Evans got 2 years.
Tyreek Evans for drug abuse. this man assaulted all of these innocent females and only gets 6 games. Honestly, Deshaun, you shouldn't even be in the league, bro, at this point. Contract.
Realistically, if all was fair in the world, he shouldn't see another down in the NFL. But it's not going to be like that. His talent will always speak volumes, and he is a talented quarterback, to be fair to him. He was probably the 4th, 5th best quarterback in the NFL at the point where he had the contract issues and then all the cases. I just don't think he should see another down in the NFL. He shouldn't see another play. He shouldn't see another huddle. He shouldn't see another practice. Mm-hmm. And to the Browns fans because you saw the mob, right, around him when his first practice.
I was going to bring that up. They're all wanting autographs from this dude, thinking that he's the savior of Cleveland.
I mean, I saw a good tweet where it says the second would be like sports fans have no morals when it comes to their team. Life will be a lot easier, and it's realistically like that. And sad that it's like that. Because I remember when the Deshaun Watson rumors came around the Dolphins last season, I didn't want Deshaun Watson to touch my team.
Nope.
Which is funny. It's even funnier because the year before that, before all the cases came out and whatever, there's a picture of him with Marino, and I was, give me Deshaun Watson. But yeah, once the cases came out and everything came out, I was like, oh no, I don't want that on my team.
It's sad that our country has laws. And you see Miles Bridges as an example. He didn't get that max contract extension. He got that max sentence in prison. And then we see Deshaun Watson only get 6 games. Athletes with top priority names are getting above the law when everyone else is below it. We have laws for a reason, to keep everyone under control.
To keep him in line. Miles Bridges hasn't gone to, he still has the court case to go before he decided what his judgment is the potential of 11 years. That's what it is.
This dude's he's definitely gonna get multiple years for this. I mean,
well, he's an athlete. He'll probably get the best lawyer. He'll probably take a plea deal. He'll probably get maybe 6 months of community service, a big fine, maybe probation. That's what he's gonna get, because that's the life we live. That's the world we live in, where if you have money, you can break the system. But that's a conversation for a different day, and we don't want to really get political right now.
And then you see Malik Beasley. Last summer, he had to spend 90 days in, he was either jail or prison, Malik Beasley, last summer.
Was it a house arrest?
No, it might have been. But he only got 90 days for what he did. If you're a normal person like me, go enjoy your 11 years in prison and have that go on your record. But then I'm not going to work another day in my life probably for at least a decent company.
That's life though.
But then we see Deshaun Watson, 24 cases, and then he gets his fully guaranteed contract.
45 million plus a signing bonus is 45 million.
How? How is that fair to us?
Not just that. The 6 games. If you look at the Browns schedule, the first 6 games, it's a joke. The first 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
They could easily walk out of that 5-1. Well, Jacoby Brissett's the backup, and I saw that man play last year. He didn't look good. He did not look good at all. But the Browns are a team that we've said a while ago have been a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contender. And a player, Deshaun Watson's talent caliber, gets you to a Super Bowl contender team.
Yep.
The question now is the coaching, because they do make some questionable choices. What they do with Nick Chubb is embarrassing. Yep. He should be running every play. I get you have Kareem Hunt. Trade Kareem Hunt for whatever you can. You have 2 decent backups behind Kareem Hunt anyways. But that's, again, topic for a different day.
And then you get Amari Cooper too then this offseason, which granted Amari Cooper, if you're a Cowboys fan, he didn't play good last year.
I mean, he's inconsistent. He'll give you great games and really bad games.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Amari Cooper last year was competing with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup.
Yep.
Didn't really have that type of competition in Cleveland. But yeah, 6 games, full contract. The appeal for a season, I still think a season's a hand slap compared. I mean, look at Trevor Bauer, 2 years. And Trevor Bauer's thing, that case is even crazier because technically he did have consent. So it wasn't rape or sexual assault. He just went overboard in what weird, kinky sex they wanted to have.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about this more once we hear about what this appeal and what happens.
It's
But
just damage control.
that is very true. But for this next topic is it's heart to heart with both of us. Obviously, repping with the Miami 305. So the Dolphins got they lost a first round pick and I believe a third round pick.
First and a third.
And
Stephen Ross is suspended for the rest of the year, the rest of the calendar year.
And then they lost $1.5 million.
$1.5 million. All right. First and foremost, fuck Stephen Ross. One of the worst owners in sports. I genuinely do not like this man. I genuinely want him to sell the team. He's never going to sell the team because he makes way too much money with the team. And stuff like the Formula One event and around Hard Rock Stadium, for example, he had hosted a Classico a few years ago. He makes too much money. He owns the stadium. He's not going to sell the team. It's annoying. But he's a terrible owner. He has zero football savvy. The fact that he cheated, tried to tamper, get Tom Brady and Sean Payton and failed on both accounts speaks volumes to how incompetent of an owner he is. The only good thing I can say about him is that he's not afraid to spend money on a team, which is better than I can say for another Miami owner, hink, hink, wink, wink, Mickey Arison. But Stephen Ross has no football knowledge. He has no football savvy. He has terrible football guys around him at all times. He's a terrible owner. Him not being with the team to the end of the year will probably be the most prosperous time the organization has seen in decades because he's just not that guy. I hate him with a passion. I don't want him ever touching my team again, but he's going to get back to the spot. The first round pick is surprising though, because that's a pretty heavy suspension right there.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like combination of talking. If it was just one player or just one person, it would probably be like a third or a second. But you add in the GOAT of football, which everyone loves, Brady, and one of the best coaches in the league, in Sean Payton. It had to be somewhat of a heavy.
I mean, not just that, also with everything that came out with Brian Flores and stuff, because that also came into account in the factoring. I mean, it cleared us technically of cheating, but they also said that they found no reasonable. I forgot the wording of it, but basically it's like it was there, but we couldn't find evidence of it.
Yeah. So a little part of me wants to blame Tom Brady for this. Because okay, so like the thing about though is that the NFL, they take all these picks and money from these owners and teams, but shouldn't there be a somewhat of a blame on the players or coaches if we're saying Sean Payton? Because aren't they the one answering their phone and like discussing this?
The thing is, tampering is the worst kept secret. Every team tampers, everybody tampers. You think players that are friends on different teams are like, oh, come to this team, let's play. Yeah, of course they are. Tampering is the worst kept secret in sports. It happens in basketball and baseball and football and soccer. It happens in every sport. Mm-hmm. It's natural. It's normal. The thing is, you just can't be too obvious with it. You have to be hink, hink, wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't just be like, oh, yeah, come. The reports that we wanted Sean Payton and Tom Brady on the Miami Dolphins is when that came out, I was just wild. And then everything that happened with Flores, where Flores kind of basically admitted to it being real, just kind of destroyed any type of casing that Dolphins might have had.
Do you blame? I don't blame Brian Flores for that though, for what they did to him.
No, the thing with Brian Flores is that he kind of put himself in a position where he had to get fired just because he lost a lot of the relationship between him and Chris Greer, which is the GM for the Dolphins, and Stephen Ross. So there was no connection there. Apparently, midway through the season, he just stopped coaching. He stopped listening to other coaches and just did whatever he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So he put himself in a position where the players don't trust him anymore. The coaching staff doesn't trust him anymore. The front office doesn't trust him anymore.
But I think it's kind of BS though. You want your coach to purposely lose games. Why?
I mean, tanking is a thing in every sport at this point. Like it's a very annoying thing to have, and I personally disagree with tanking as much as I want to disagree. The best way around it would be to do what they do in Premier League soccer in Europe and have relegations where you have a second division and a third division. Teams go up, teams go down, and you rely on farm systems instead of drafting players. So you can get certain colleges maybe, and those players in that college go to your team or something like that. But it could also be very cheat codey because imagine the team has like Alabama as a farm system.
So like, I don't think the Dolphins were bad enough that they wanted Flores to tank that bad. Because if the Dolphins wanted to tank,
no. We forget how bad that team in 2020 was. We forget how bad that team is. That team was terrible. Ryan Fitzpatrick was our starting quarterback. We had absolutely no offensive line. We gave that man CTE the whole season. Our running back was Myles Gaskins, I believe. We had no real wide receivers.
Devontae Parker.
We had. I'm sorry, Devontae Parker is not that guy. I've seen it enough time. Our defense was and Brian Flores turned water into wine with that team, because the fact that he got 5 wins speaks volumes of what kind of coach he was. I think defensively, he's one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The defenses he ran with Miami are so complex and so really well coached. The issue is that he's a terrible offensive coach. And it showed with everything that happened with Tua, the constant lack of an actual offensive coordinator on the team. He was very stubborn with what he wanted on an offense. He didn't want Tua. He wanted this. He didn't want this. He wanted that. And it showed a lot that why our offense never really worked in those situations. And that was always Brian Flores' Achilles heel. If he can figure it out on offense, no doubt in my mind, he could be a Super Bowl winning coach. But he needs to figure it out on offense.
And that's why I kind of give flack towards Brian Flores, is because why is Tua getting all this hate? One reason only: he didn't have an offensive coach or a decent offensive coordinator to teach him.
A big thing that I've always noticed is that Brian Flores never ever claimed Tua in any press conference. Mike McDaniel's first press conference, he goes, Tua is my quarterback. There's a huge difference there. You have to build confidence in your quarterback. Tua was given every and any reason to fail. And that's what sucks with Tua for 2 years. He's labeled as a bust already, which I think is way too premature. He's labeled as a weak arm quarterback, which in my opinion, he doesn't have a weak arm. He can throw outside the sticks really well. And he can throw pretty deep when he has the chance to throw deep. He's actually, believe it or not, more accurate than Pat Mahomes throwing deep. For those people saying Tyreek Hill isn't going to be used right in Miami. Mm-hmm. The problem is he just never had those opportunities to throw, because he hikes the ball 2 seconds later, he's rushed. He has to throw slants, otherwise he's getting killed.
I tell everyone hates on Tua for no reason. I had someone at work say that he would rather take Gardner Minshew over Tua, which is insane to say. Dolphins, I think they're the surprise team this year, and they're gonna be the most watched team this year.
The thing with the Dolphins as well is that we have to understand that they've won 19 games the last 2 seasons and have not made playoffs, which is a very Dolphins thing to be in, to finish.
The thing is, their division was so tough though for so long.
No, it wasn't tough for so long. It was New England.
And then now the Bills,
and now it's the Bills. But watch out with the Bills, because they seem to be imploding. There's been a couple fights in practice. Apparently, a lot of reaction around training camp hasn't really positive with the team. I still think they have way too much talent to not be good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they'll be good. The thing is, they implode from the inside. That opens the door a lot for Miami to sneak in, or the Jets, who, as much as I hate to admit it, have done really well the last 2 seasons drafting and in free agency.
I think you're jumping too quick. I think you're jumping too quick on the Jets.
Maybe they need another year. Obviously, apparently Zach Wilson's having a really bad camp. So
I don't know. I have the Dolphins finishing second in the AFC.
It's possible, because I don't like the Pats offense.
No.
But the Pats defense is always going to be really good. It's a very defensive division.
I think the AFC East is going to be probably, besides, I think we all know the AFC West.
The AFC West is
going to be tough, but I think the AFC East is another division to watch out for, because you have 3 decent teams that.
The AFC North is also really good. I mean, you don't know who's going to win it. You got the Bengals, obviously the Browns, which they get Deshaun Watson. The Ravens, even though Lamar Jackson needs some receivers bad. And we don't know what the Steelers are going to look like. They're competitive every year.
Kenny Pickett's looking nice though in camp right now. So
I've heard mixed reports, but I'm not going to judge on a rookie quarterback until I see him in action.
Okay, so I think let's flip it right now. Let's jump over. The MLB deadline was Monday.
Baseball always has the best deadlines.
So let's start off with the biggest trade I think that's been happening so far in MLB history.
Potentially ever.
Well, we don't know about Kevin Durant yet, if that ever goes down.
If that ever happens.
But Juan Soto declined the extension with the Nationals. The Nationals ship him to San Diego for one of the biggest deals in MLB history. With Josh Bell. Dude, the Padres, they just upgraded major.
Bro, their hitting core is so nasty now because they haven't even had Tatis the whole season.
Yeah.
And we know what Nando can do.
So you're going to have, just think about this lineup right now. You're going to have Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, and Josh Bell. And Josh Bell.
And Manny Machado was having a hell of a year before the injuries creeped up on him.
That's
if he can get back to form, I know. That team is nice.
And then I think they got Trent Grisham out there in center too. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Center? You mean as a catcher?
I mean, yeah, catcher. Yeah, my bad.
Wrong sport.
No, yeah, okay. No. I thought Trent Grisham was a center fielder.
Center fielder. Okay. Oh, you're talking about center field.
Yeah.
Okay, you threw me off with the at center. Might be.
But not only that, but they traded for one of the best closers in baseball too. Granted, okay, Josh Hader, his ERA is not looking nice right now, but we know Josh Hader is one of the best. He's one of the best closers in baseball. Which, for myself, being a Brewers fan, what the hell were we thinking? I mean, they got to have some thought process around why they got rid of Hader, but like, I don't see it.
Apparently the thing was Josh Hader was on his last year, so he might have got left out for in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, relievers and closers are hard to find, so someone's gonna offer him money the Brewers don't have.
Yeah.
You guys actually leveled up really nicely. You guys have 3 pitchers.
3 pitchers in a outfield prospect.
Yeah.
But so the issue is we don't need pitching.
You guys need hitters bad. The Brewers pitching is nice, but the Brewers hitting is bad.
Like Christian Yelich, he's getting paid like a Hall of Famer type contract right now. I mean, he's not batting terribly. I'm pretty sure he's batting around 300 or somewhere around there, which isn't bad. But for the money that he's getting paid, not good. I may be rocking that Christian Yelich batting average, but like I'm pretty sure.
I'm about to check it out for you.
Yes. Stat check me with that one.
All right, this year he's batting 263.
Okay, 263. See, that's not what we need out of him. Obviously, he's getting those little chippy RBI, like single RBI singles and stuff like that. I want to see dingers out of this boy. Granted, he shattered his kneecap. He's had back issues. But, like, the Brewers just wasted their future at this point right now. Because this dude's contract is so huge. What are we supposed to do now with this? I mean, Ronnie Tellez, he hits nukes. Hunter Renfroe's been playing good. Luis Urias has been playing good.
Hunter Renfroe is nice. I like Hunter Renfroe a lot.
McCutchen, I don't think a lot of people knew what the Brewers were going to get out of McCutchen. Granted, he had a lot of struggles throughout this year, but he's that solid DH that we need. Or if Yelich is playing is a DH. But like the Brewers, bro, what the hell were you guys thinking? I don't get it.
Another team that loaded up really nicely in the trade line was the Houston Astros.
Agreed.
They got Christian Vasquez from the Red Sox. They got Trey from the Orioles. They loaded up really nicely with the hitting.
Did you see that the video of Vasquez when he was BPing and then he got the news? So then he had to, because the Red Sox were in Houston, so then he had to pack up all of his stuff and walk straight across the tunnel to the other side.
I genuinely think that on deadlines, on trade deadlines and stuff like that, the team should not play him.
Yeah, because we saw Harrison Barnes middle of a Mavericks game, got shipped to Sacramento. I don't get it.
No, yeah, teams should not be playing the last 2 days of the deadline. Just let the deadline rock. And yeah, after the deadline, you can regroup and start the season again. Play on. But those 2 days should be on break. Practice sessions maybe, but don't have games. Don't have stuff where publicly you can see players get traded, and it's a sour feeling I can imagine getting traded.
So another trade that happened is that the Dodgers got Joey Gallo. I don't know if they thought this was their Juan Soto replacement if they didn't get him at the deadline, but that's what I'm happy about. The Dodgers, it seems like they get everyone. They got Machado, they got Mookie Betts, they got Scherzer, they got Trevor Bauer. Finally there's a year where they didn't get one of these.
Bro, when I started hearing the rumors that the Dodgers were favorites to get Juan Soto, I was so mad, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's no way.
The Red Sox, they got Eric Hosmer.
I don't know what the Red Sox are doing, bro.
And then the Phillies, they got Noah Syndergaard. So
that's a nice pickup there. They definitely want to make a push for a wild card.
There were rumors that the Blue Jays were going after Pablo Lopez, but
them and the Yankees. I kind of wanted Pablo to get traded just because I think our starting rotation is going to be really tight in the next couple of years with Max Myers, who looked solid. I mean, he didn't have the best debut. He looked solid, but the problem is second game in, he has to get Tommy John surgery. So that's great. Sexto Sanchez, if he can get back to his confidence with his fastball, because that's apparently what's been holding him back the last 2 years. That he hasn't been able to throw past 92 miles per hour, 92 or 93 miles per hour in fastball. But when he gets back to form, he has nasty stuff. That right there is potentially 3 aces if you include Sandy. You have Edwin Cabrera, who looks really nice. There's another 2 or 3 that we have in the minors. Trevor Rogers, if he can figure it out and look back like he was looking his rookie year, as opposed to what he looks like this year, because he's been terrible this year. You have a nice, really stacked, really competitive pitching core. And I feel like Pablo Lopez is, as nice as he's been this year, is the odd man out. So I feel like if you could have traded him, found some bats, because Lord knows the Marlins need bats right now. Our bats are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, talking from the Brewers standpoint, their hitting hasn't been the greatest either this year.
Yeah, but the Marlins, if it's not Jazz Chisholm, it's not really many people.
I think that's what everyone was excited about, was that Jazz Chisholm didn't get shipped out at the deadline.
I like Jazz.
And then they got Brian Anderson still, former
Brewer. I don't know what we're doing with Brian Anderson, because we have Joey Weddle.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Brian Anderson was very expandable at this point. He could have gotten traded, and he could have been a nice fielding piece for a team that needed a third baseman.
And then you still got Jesus Aguilar too. I mean, I haven't watched much Marlins baseball. I don't know exactly how Jesus is doing this year.
He's doing all right, I guess, but like, there's no real bats in Miami right now.
And then here we go again. The Brewers, they traded for another pitcher. Like, I think the Brewers are just like, we're gonna stock up on pitching as much as we can. We need a hitter. This is what I hate about these small market teams, though. They can't afford to get these, like a Juan Soto, or like a Tatis, or a Machado, or Mookie Betts, or anyone like
draft
this.
One.
Unless you draft them. These small markets were pretty much forced to go straight pitching more than hitting.
Baseball is it needs a salary cap. It really does need a salary cap.
Because
fair salary cap. Because the payroll thing is not working out. The Dodgers pay everybody. They pay half the league. The Yankees pays the other half of the league, and then the rest of the teams just struggle.
It's
and now the Mets can join them in powers of money.
I think that's another topic for a different day, but like, it's not fair, because like, you look at the Brewers and stuff like that, you can't afford anyone like that. I don't know if any of this is going to happen soon. Probably not.
Probably not. Baseball's too comfortable in the position where they're at, and that's the problem.
Or they're looking to get robotic umpires now, and they're thinking about getting rid of umps now.
It's not a bad idea if it works because Angel Rodriguez can't freaking correctly call a strike.
But I think that's all the major sports news over the past week since the last time we hopped on this.
This weekend, Premier League soccer starts. Soccer's coming back, so that's the first major sport to make a comeback. So we'll have topics to talk about if my man wants to watch some soccer. I'm gonna enjoy it.
It's a little bit of a sketchy weekend. Oh, and if you guys aren't doing anything tomorrow night, football is back.
Thursday. Oh yeah,
The Hall of Fame game. We got.
There's not gonna be much stories to tell, but it's always nice to see a couple players get hit.
My
They
boy.
hit pads again.
It still hurts me to say this, but Devontae Adams on the Raiders is going up against Trevor Lawrence and the Jags tomorrow night. So that'll be interesting. But my question is, what are the Jags doing, real quick? What are they doing not playing Trevor Lawrence?
I mean, it's a Hall of Fame game. It's one extra preseason game. You don't really need to necessarily. I guess you want to see him get all the reps possible, but you also don't want to see him get hurt in the Hall of Fame game. There's not much to really play for there.
No. But I think we're gonna wrap it up right here. I hope everyone enjoys. If you're gonna go out, watch some soccer this weekend. Obviously,
football.
Obviously, preseason football is starting up, and I don't know. I'm excited. It's all coming down, man. NBA starting up in
NBA
Summer
is going
camp.
down, but
summer camp's coming up.
the fact that NFL is starting to be dramatic again is the fact that NFL's back.
Yeah,
Football's back.
Preseason coming up. We're halfway through the baseball season. Over halfway through the baseball season.
Playoffs are coming soon. Yeah, in August already.
Soccer starting up again.
Soccer is going to be a weird year this year because this is the first time where the season breaks up because of the World Cup. It gets halted. So it's going to be weird because we should have gotten a World Cup this summer, but they wanted to do it in Qatar. And obviously, you don't want to play summers in Qatar.
Nope, not at all. That's not for me. And then obviously got training camp starting up for basketball, which I hate ESPN because the other day they did breaking news that the first three words were Russell Westbrook, and then I was like, yes, he was about to get traded, and it's not a new trainer, a new agent. But that agent is known for getting players to do contract buyouts, though. He's very famous for that throughout the NBA. So
it sucks because I was looking at some Russell Westbrook Washington Wizards highlights, and it's like the fact that he fixed a lot of his reputation in Washington and then just destroyed it next season in LA is so sad.
Dude, I'm waiting for the news, man. I don't care if we trade for me. Honestly, for me, I'll play.
Oh, did you see the report that Kendrick Nunn has yet to play 5v5?
He said he's feeling good though, so
he is yet to fully participate in a 5v5 drills.
Okay, we're wrapping up right here.
We're done.
I hope everyone enjoyed. We'll be back next week, and we'll catch you on the next one. From Check the Rock to my boy Imanol Perez. We're signing off. We'll catch you on the next one, everyone. Take care.
Peace, cowboy.